TIL, the quickly drying Colorado River's one outflow of water is to feed cows. Not wrong, but simplistic. I couldn't figure out why farmers would grow a low-quality, thirsty crop as much as they do. So I pulled up a bunch of articles from 20 years ago directed at the ag industry. Turns out that alfalfa binds nitrogen and has deep roots that stabilize the soil, and produces a lot per acre with minimal need for fertilizer or a pesticide. The problem is their appetite for beef. Alfalfa is at best a byproduct, or just a red herring. And stuff like this is exactly why the whole conservation ethic, where people all act like these are problems that can be solved by individuals acting conscientiously enough, is way off. As if our oceans are dying mostly because we're not using paper straws enough of the time. The plutocrats actually responsible for most of the damage really try to instill that bogus narrative in all of us, and it seems to be working like a charm. All water ultimately gets recycled. Beef isn't the problem. The problem is that beef is too cheap. We as taxpayers artificially are keeping it that way. If people want beef, let them pay the true cost, including the externalities created from farming beef. Wrap the true cost of water into it. Use the money generated from no longer subsidizing water to create more renewable water energy infrastructure. But veganism and vegetarianism are choices to be mocked. In 100 years, what it left of mankind will look at rolling coal intentionally tuning a pickup truck to blast sooty exhaust at people on bicycles and meat eating as two sides of the same coin. Climate change denial is often looked as something other people do, but people who eat meat are climate change deniers, whether they know it or not. I used to eat a lot of beef. I mostly gave up beef about a year ago and haven't looked back. I gave it up because I took a road trip around the US for 10 months and spent a lot of time in nature. I was astounded by how much land is used for cattle. It seemed around every corner was another herd. Really made it obvious that things are out of balance. Alfalfa production in the West should be severely cut back. That stuff can be grown back east where water is plentiful. Lowering the water table to where it's not economical to pump with a well helps no one. I would also be in favor of large-scale permaculture swales and ponds to capture any rainfall. That states don't already do this surprises me. This in particular is especially wild to me. The stress on the West's water supply due to alfalfa is especially acute in Utah. A staggering 68% of the state's available water is used to grow alfalfa for livestock feed, even though it's responsible for a tiny 0.2% of the state's income. Vegans chanting for us to go vegan without realizing the plants used for cattle also use a massive amount of water. Also, what are you gonna do about all the cows? Kill them? Let them starve? They'll all still be there munching on grass while you eat a salad. This is why lab-grown meat is so important. It doesn't require anything close to the same amount of water and it doesn't output methane. It's far better for the environment. Yeah, livestock uses huge amounts of water. Growing a pound of beef costs more than 10 times the amount of water it takes to make a point of tofu. How will this affect beef prices? For reference, the owners have suddenly decided that now is the time to switch concepts into a steakhouse. The fact that our limited water supply is being used to grow shit for other countries is absolutely criminal. Another downside of animal agriculture. It really is the worst thing we are doing across the planet. All scenarios of unconstrained human population growth on Earth result in resource shortage. It's almost as if people need to eat, and resources are allocated to producing food. Weird. Let it go dry. Cattle farmers want to ruin the West, then they should suffer for it. You hear that, guys? Cows. Cows are stealing all our water. What's next are guns. Yup. Takes so much more energy resources time to produce beef over vegetables. It's almost like the meat industry isn't as sustainable. Who would have thought?